Freaky Friday. How are we doing, everybody? We are back. Moving the Chains podcast with your man and the host of this hour, Sammy, the man McIntyre. I hope we're rocking. I hope we are rolling today. We had one of the best games of the year. Last night, it was on full display. Pacific Northwest, Chris Pratt, Marshawn Lynch. The whole Seahawks team was there. It felt like 2013 again. It was just cinema. It was absolute cinema, as the words of Martin Scorsese, the great director, would say. It was absolute cinema. I mean, I'm right. I wrote this down today. Last night's game, this is what magnified it. Division title on the line. Seattle coming back from 30-14 when I thought they were dead and buried. The Rams might have Sam Darnold's number. I'll get to him in a minute. 16-point fourth quarter comeback. That 2-point conversion, it bounced off the guy's helmet, then it counted. You had the punt return touchdown. Puka Nacua went off and went Rambo ape shit, 225, and then Seattle got the overtime win. I mean, it was cinema. It was all-time stuff, and I'll touch on both teams, but that was incredible. And I also wanted to touch on the Chicago Bears right now, their stadium situation. I mean, Jesus Christ. God, it just... The gift that keeps on giving with the Bears and how weird they are, whatever. So I want to touch on that game. So let's start with that. So I usually touch on the losing team, and I'll start with the Rams. So last night, that was about as bad a loss as they've had in the Sean McVay era. They've had some bad ones. I remember the year they won the Super Bowl, they got beat bad by Green Bay. The playoff game the year before. They've had some ugly losses in Sean McVay's time. Last night, I don't know how you can stomach that. You're going to have 10 days to kind of go, what was that? And you should think that this morning, today as you're leaving work today, the Rams. Because last night, when it was 30-14, I went, it's not Sammy's night. It's not Sam Darnold's night. They've got him. They've kind of fooled him. There's certain guys that just have somebody's number. Peyton Manning, could never get through Belichick, and then eventually he did. And it felt like that to me last night watching Sam Darnold and Chris Shula and the Rams and McVay. They just had Sam Darnold's number. And they weren't going to be tonight. But the Rams, on their perspective, they're still a really good football team. They're one of the best in football. And I think they're complete. They draft well. Matt Stafford's incredible. I mean, Noah Leasing probably knows this better than anybody. A lot of stuff I'm going to say with the Rams is not bullshit. But that was hard to watch last night with the Rams because they had that game in the bag. No way they're going to come back. Then the punt return happens. Momentum, it's a freaky thing. And when you get on a roll like that, momentum, it hits you. And it's an avalanche. And the Rams kind of let the avalanche hit them last night. But as I predicted, I thought it would be, I said 29-24 Seahawks to pick the upset. But it was on that ballpark last night. And I just, with the Rams, the one thing they have, the downfall is they can't cover people in the back end. They really don't. Now, and again, they can't help it. They've drafted okay. They had to go get that corner from, I think his name is, I can't remember his name, the guy from Mississippi State. They had to get him. So they're kind of patchwork in the secondary. Having said that, though, they're still going to be a great team in the playoffs. Not somebody I want to play. Okay? So the Rams, not all is lost this morning. Not all is doom and gloom. Matt Stafford's got 10 days to rest. He took some shots last night. That rush, that crowd. I mean, that field is... There's a reason why Lumen Field, or whatever you call it, Quest Field, is one of the best on-field advantages of football. I felt it last night watching it on TV. I couldn't imagine what it would be like in person. And they did a poll... Top 10 NFL stadiums, iconic, all this stuff. They're in that top 10 list. And they deservedly should be. Because most of my life, that's just a house of horrors to play. Green Bay had issues up there. Dallas had issues up there. It's just one of those stadiums. And last night, the Rams let it slip. And having said that, though, Matt Stafford, Jesus Christ. I wrote a quote today down, and this is just funny. I think Coward said this today. He said, God reached down at some point and he blessed Nolan Ryan, Justin Verlander, and Matt Stafford's arm. Because I got to tell you, he's the last pure pocket guy in the league. You could say Goff, but I don't know. In that realm, he absolutely throws seeds. I mean, that one throw, rolling this way and then throwing a rope to that one, the one receiver. I just can't say enough about Matt Stafford. I mean, he is tougher than a $4 steak, tough as hell, great guy. He's everything you want. And yeah, in Detroit, he got blamed and he gets pick happy. He does. But I think he's mastered the quarterback position enough from the pocket to learn it. And listen, it helps when you got Sean McVay and Puka and all those stuff. But those Rams players, they've hit on all of them. They don't miss on their draft picks. They really don't. And they miss a few times, but just the Rams, man, that's a game that really got away from them last night. But give props to Stafford for hanging in there, gutting it out, slinging that pill around. I mean, it was incredible. And big picture takeaway, Rams are going to be okay. That's going to sting for 10 days. And don't take a lot away from it. Seattle's still a really good football team. I think the Rams are a little better than Seattle, and I'll touch on them in a second. But I'm not writing the Rams completely off. That's a bad loss, no doubt about it. You blew that game. But I come away from that going, we got 10 days to rest. We still got, Seattle still has the Niners left. Rams' last two games are kind of, I would say, cakewalk. Something's cakewalk, but it feels like that looking at it from a standpoint. So they're going to be okay. I'm not, bad loss for the Rams, but Matt Stafford's just, he's like sickly talented. He's just nasty. That's all I can say. And on the flip side, how about my guy, Sammy the Man Darnold? Woo! Ball out last night. I was so proud of him. Way to go, Sammy. And in that, became the first quarterback in NFL history to win 12 games back-to-back seasons with different teams. Not even Favre could say that. Manning, Brady, Montana. Give me a hell yeah, because that was fantastic last night. And listen, early on, I went, shit, come on, Sammy. And he came through. And I know the reputation, he's kind of reckless, and blah, 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 Andrew Luck. Okay. And I did not love Seattle's game plan going in. I hated it. It was so conservative. It was like Jimmy Garoppolo was their quarterback instead of him. You got to let Sammy get through the kinks. He's a playmaker. Get that bad pick out of the way, and then let him cook. And they did. And listen, he threw two picks last night that were just horrendous. The Rams did that the first time where he picked them off 4 times. And then last night they picked him off again. And he threw the pick like Baker did last Thursday night against Atlanta where, they kind of fooled him, right? They sent the corner blitz off the corner. Okay, I got him. And then they shipped him off, and then he picked him off in the zone. So, that happens with Sammy. And, he gets fooled if you're playing chess. They're playing checkers. I don't know if it's a chess player, but you get my analogy. And last night, to me, I could have been more proud of Sam Darnold. Yeah, early on it was Sam Darnold. I got it. But this guy's a gamer. And there's too much raw talent for him not to be great. Yes, he struggled in New York. Yes, he struggled in Carolina. That's okay. Those organizations are pitiful. More so the Jets. Panthers having a good year this year. We'll see if they can kind of regain the momentum, keep it going. But the Jets they're a lifeless ship. Who cares? So I'm not going to hold that against Sammy. It was bad. Whatever. Chris Shula has his number. Bill Belichick had his number. Belichick had Peyton Manning's number early on. Who gives a shit? But I'm watching last night. The way that he dominated that game. Listen, he's raw, man. He's a playmaker. When he came out of college, yeah, he got coached shittily. Most USC fans know. And I know I'm repping Notre Dame today. Shouldn't be rooting for USC, University of Spoiled Children, but I'm rooting for Sammy. So, great win last night by the Seahawks, excuse me. That team's fantastic. And I said it last year, and I'll continue saying it. They're incredible. Their defense, they fly around. I feel like I'm watching Legion of Boom. Not on that level, but just their team speed. They fly around. They have got, Nick Imawari, and it's incredible. And I'm just so happy, for Seattle. They're fantastic. They know what they're doing. That the kid Shaheed early on, fantastic pick. Because here's the thing. I like guys that take swings. push your chips, middle of the table, over the top. And Seattle's like, you know what? I think we got a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Now, do I trust them down the stretch with Sam Darnold? I don't know if they're Super Bowl yet, but they're in that bubble, man. They're elite everywhere. And I'm looking up, and I go, yeah, Jack Smith and Jigba, stud. Come on. We'll see how Ohio State's receivers are because Brian Hartline, the architect behind it, he just left. So we'll see how that works. But I will say this, Seattle's good, man. That home field advantage, they got the number 1 seed right now. All of it's going to change a little bit down the stretch. We'll see if Seattle can contain more momentum. But that was a great win by Seattle. Way to gritty it, tough it up. It felt like I was watching a pre-Russell Wilson thing where it was momentum, it was crazy. But good for Seattle today. And I got to tell you, I was so impressed with Sammy Darnold. Having a 108 quarterback rating, fourth quarter, when the game's on the line. That's my boy. That's what you do. I'm so fired up for him today. That's my guy, Sam Darnold. That's who I saw last year in Minnesota. That's who I saw early this year. Gamer, tough, big. Too much raw talent for him to suck. Get the right coach in place, and he's going to kill it. And he did last night. Way to go, Sammy. You made me proud. All right. So that got me fired up. And Seattle is elite in a lot of places. That head coach is special. And he's a rock star. Just like DeMeco Ryans in Houston, Mike McDonald, Seattle, rock star. And that's what you got to do with these defensive coaches. I know the league's going offense. You can still get a defensive guy, but get them young. DeMeco, Mike McDonald. Get those kind of guys. Maybe Saleh in that range. So I got to talk about this because Chicago Bears, they make me laugh. So I don't know if you guys heard. I'm sure you did if you're a Bear fan. They're going to move. My first reaction was, what is this? Stupid. I mean, Kevin Warren was basically brought in to Chicago to get this stadium. That's all he had to do. Just get the stadium done. And yet, we're 3 years in and he still hasn't? What are we doing? And here's the thing. There's certain places that just feel better. Like if I said to you, what sounds great? Chicago Bears, Green Bay Packers, right? Now they would be called the Gary Bears. Huh? What? It doesn't make sense. In Chicago, listen, I got family there, and I'm not trying to shit on the city. But Jesus, man, get this thing done. What are we doing? The Bears belong in Chicago. And why are they talking about this now? You do realize tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, I'll be watching that game like most people. Okay? Packers, Bears. Big game tomorrow. Big implications. And this is now happening in the middle of that? What the fuck are we doing? Why is this not done in the offseason? Get this done in the offseason and then let it be a distraction. But right now, middle of a playoff race? Come on. This is ridiculous. And Kevin Warren, shame on you. Why has this not been done yet, damn it? Get it done. You're fucking around and we're going to find out. You're being an idiot. I just don't get the Bears, man. And I get it, McCaskey, they look like Joe Biden out there. You know, I get it. But it's annoying to me. The Bears should have got this done earlier in the summer, thank you, and got it done. They're just a joke. Like, again, the Raiders, think about this today. The Raiders had stadium problems. They got it figured out. They got it done. It took a while, but they got it done. So why is this taking 20 years to get done? I don't get it. I mean, hey, I don't care. I'm not a Bear fan, but it just feels weird to me. The LaGrange Bears? That ring, it just doesn't sound right. Keep them in Chicago. I've already heard Chicago people tweeting this. Just keep them in Chicago. They feel right. It's Chicago, big city. New York, Miami, L.A. It feels big. So keep them in Chicago. I know the Soldier Field's a dump. I got it. I've been there. But just keep them in Chicago. Stop fucking around. So we'll see what happens moving forward. I just don't think it's the right timing to do this. So hope you guys are doing great. We got college football tonight, college football tomorrow, NFL Sunday. Both games going on. We got so much football this weekend. It's not even funny. But hope you guys are doing well. Freaky Friday. Adios. Love you guys. Godspeed.